As a team defensively, where do you feel you are as far as from a health standpoint, playing together as a group going into the postseason?
I think everything's been pretty good. That loss last week was humbling. I think the focus, the demeanor, everything's been up this week, and I think exactly where we want to be going into this type of game.
They also have a better taste in your mouth how last year ended.
I'm not a person that kind of focused on last year. I remember how it's felt, but I just been getting into the mentality of just next. What's next? Last week was tough, but we got this game to focus on. So it's next. You get a bad play in the game, next play. So it's just next. So this game is just what I'm focused on, and this one doesn't matters.
But does it help you, I guess, challenge your focus for this game, knowing how the urgency of what happened last year, and if things repeat itself, you have the same result?
Yeah, I think my focus has been the same. It always has. It's just a matter of just executing, doing what you got to do, and just going with the game plan, really. So I think the focus has always been the same. Just focusing on this game. That's what matters, though.
Brady's hard to sack because of his release, 2.45 seconds, fastest in the NFL, but you got him twice in week one. How were you able to achieve that?
Getting to him faster. Our DBs did a great job of taking away his first look and made him pause in those couple of seconds, and I was able to get there. It's just going to be just as important this week, if not more important, because how good he's been in playoffs. So the pressure, getting to him is going to be crucial, vital for us to win this game.
How much can it help that you've seen him twice in the last year and a half?
This is actually our third time, huh?
Twice already.
Yeah, it really helps just because, you kind of got the look. You kind of already got a base of a team, what they want to do, how they want to attack you. We just got to be prepared for the unexpected, that first 15 when they come out, do some things we haven't seen. But truly, a team sticks to what they're good at and what they're known for. So we've seen it, and hopefully we're able to adjust and our game plan executes.
You guys are a team.
Anything to get, because you played against him specifically, that there's not a Brady mystique, or is there still something about playing against a guy that's won so many Super Bowls, been around so long?
It's always cool to go against Brady because none of us know when his last game is. So, so hopefully, we get the win. We get to know him for being in last. If not, we'll probably see him again next year if we know how he is. So, that's what it's about. But, he's just like any other quarterback. He bleeds the same way. He throws. He's just a better quarterback than most. So, the challenge is higher.
Would you like to retire him?
I'm not going to say nothing like that. I admire his game and what he brings to the game. So, I believe he can play as long as he wants. He could be 60 still playing. It's just him.
Why do you think he's so good at the end of games, at the end of halves, and those kinds of things?
Why is he?
Yeah.
I just think he understands situational football to the highest level. Talking about guy, he's not the most athletic person in the world, but he's learned to master the game, master, adjustments, what he's seen. And, when you got a guy like that who chooses to master the game, doesn't rely on athleticism and really studies the game and been in the game as long as he has, it's hard to fool him. And, I think he knows how to with his eyes, take away and show people what he wants them to see and come back to it later. So, there's no one like him in the game.
Interior pressure, what can that do getting him off his spot?
It'll be crucial for our interior guys to, get him off his spot and, do his thing. But then again, we've seen past couple of years he's been able to avoid and still make plays. So just all collectively, we just need to be good.
Micah, your sack numbers and those of the team in general are a lot different, grass versus artificial surface. Do you find it?
Are they higher?
Your numbers on artificial surface are way higher than they are on grass. You guys are 1-4 on grass this year. Not to put bad thoughts in your head, but you're a team built for speed and quickness. Do you find it more difficult to get those same advantages when you're playing on grass?
Yeah, it just, sometimes the conditions may change it too. But I think their grass is pretty good, so I think we should have a pretty good day.
Mike, you've talked a lot to us about how to be great, you have to be great in the greatest moments, kind of rise to the occasion. What type of things do you tell yourself this week, and are you watching anything different motivationally, or how are you going about trying to prepare yourself to be at your greatest?
Me personally, I just feel like, last couple of weeks I just feel like the season's long and it's, but and during the season you tend to chase things, you do everything. But now, like, I feel like I hit my second win in terms of how I feel in the season. I feel like I feel better now than I have like the past couple of weeks, just because how anxious and excited I am. Because it's one thing to like play the game and then play the game when it matters. That it's a different type of competitive spirit. I think that's why you see guys play harder. They put everything. It's just way harder. The intensity, the ferocious nature that really comes out. And that's what makes us excited for these games. So for me, I've been studying more. I feel like I'm gonna be the most prepared I have all year in terms of how I'm preparing and feel like I want to bring into this game.
How good does your body feel?
As good as it can be. What else? Yeah.
That's not a great.
I mean, is everything going to be great? No. I mean, you gotta play what you got. You drop some food on the table. You gonna eat it or you gonna starve?
I eat it off the floor.
Okay, eat it then. So you gotta deal with some things, deal with certain conditions. I mean, I've dealt with things all my life. Why stop now?
Micah, you've only been here 2 years. Does a 26-year Super Bowl drought mean anything to you?
No. I'm a year in. I just can control what I can control. I can't control past what guys did in the past or what they did before. I can control what I do and what the guys in this room do. That's just all that matters to me.
Is that kind of your approach? I appreciate the history and what happened here before, but it doesn't impact what we have facing us Monday night, so why talk about it?
Why talk about it? It has no relevance. It's a whole different team, whole different roster. The only person that might know is Jason Peters. He's the only person that might know. Outside Jason Peters, this is a pretty young group, and we've all been in here. We're in here together, so we're good where we're at.
Something that you and a lot of guys on this team can understand from experience is the feeling of losing that playoff game last year. How much does having that so fresh, going to the playoffs back-to-back years, allow you to use it as motivation?
Really just understanding the grasp of what it all means. It's almost kind of like in each stage of the process. I remember my freshman year, we was in the bowl game, and I didn't because I wasn't a starter, so I didn't prepare as good as I should have, and I ended up going down. And I played the game. I pretty had a good game, and even last year, I didn't grasp the magnitude of what playoff meant to it was really over, and to the mentality of this year, just understanding that there is no tomorrow. We as people we tend to procrastinate and say, we'll study more now, we'll study more later. And the message I was just to the guys this week, there is no tomorrow. Nothing else matters besides this game. We can't just keep saying we'll communicate, we'll do this later. Everything got to be now. We got to work on it now so that when the game, it's already there. So just understanding the mindset and the determination that it takes to win these games is completely different.
As someone who's prides himself on rising to the occasion, do you feel mentally you're better suited to do that in the postseason this year than you were last year because of what you just said?
Yeah. I feel like, as far as we go, these are going to be my best games. And, and that's just because I want it, This is where, regular season's cool. You guys get all hyped up, but this is where the legends is made. I was watching the Shaq documentary, and Shaq was talking about it when his MVP and he was a dominant player. But it's like, well, Shaq, what does it mean if you don't win the title? You keep going halfway there, you keep making playoffs, you keep going. What does your legacy mean? What is it? You know what I'm saying? You'll just be another guy. And when he got to L.A., Magic was talking to him. So, understanding, and that's why I think it's important that we watch the history of the sports and the best players to ever do it, because you learn, the mentality, the challenge is different. And even when he went to Miami, D-Wade was like, I seen Shaq's not the same guy. And Shaq was like, D-Wade, I'm not the same guy that I need you to carry the boat. And D-Wade stepped up. That's what it's about. And, there's guys on this team that's not the same guys that they were 3-4 years ago. But that's why young guys like me are here, because we got to step up. We got to understand, this is our moment, and we got to take it in full.
Tyron has been here the longest in terms of on this franchise in the locker room. How do you see him just set the standard, and I don't know if he communicates that standard, but just kind of lay the foundation for what he feels that you guys should do?
Oh, I feel like if I was an O-lineman, Tyron's someone I would admire. I hate going against Tyron. Even in walkthroughs, everything feels like it's 100%. And, I'll even duck his side sometimes in terms of how he walks throughs, how he prepares, how he gets mentally ready for the game. And after just watching him, and we laugh about it in the D-line room, and LB room like, damn, we hate going against Tyron. The way he just gets off the ball, just in like everybody's walking, he's going 100, and we like laugh about it, like damn. But you admire that effort and determination he brings to the game, and it's like a no-brainer why he had the career he's had. So I think that's why Tyler Smith took the jumps he had. Watching Tyron and learning from him, and learning from Peters, guys who had those type of careers. So it's been pretty cool.
How long does it take for a kickoff to get to you on Monday? Waiting all day, seeing these other playoff games on Saturday and Sunday. How long do you think that wait will be on Monday?
It'll probably go by pretty quick. I feel like the season will go by pretty fast. It'll be here before we know it. It's already what? My days is coming messed up. It's Thursday? Okay.
It's the Wednesday on the practice schedule.
Yeah, it's a Wednesday, but it's a Thursday. I almost said it's Friday, but it's going to come up on me pretty quick, and we just got to be ready.
The Bucs were able to run the ball against you guys in Week 1, but they've struggled for most of the season, I think, ranking last in the league. What can you take away from what they're able to do, especially for Nat?
They're still one thing. They're still gonna run the ball. They're still gonna be persistent. You still gotta assert the run game into any offensive system. You gotta show presence to the run game, make people respect it, and things like that. So I expect it to still come. They face many injuries just like us, and those guys are all coming back. So we need to be prepared for the best Bucs.
The player all-pro voting, is that any sort of motivation for you, or is it the motivation strictly postseason in this team?
Motivation strictly postseason. Guys vote who they want. It's what it is.
Thanks, Micah.